The vast emptiness of space stretched out before the Galactic Confederation's flagship, the star Voyager. Captain Jae-sung stood on the bridge, his eyes fixed on the large view screen. It was another routine patrol in this quiet sector of the galaxy. "Captain, all systems are normal," reported First Officer Min Seo from her station. Jae-sung nodded, his face calm but alert. "Good. Keep our sensors at maximum range. You never know what we might find out here." Little did he know how right he was. As the hours passed, the crew went about their duties. Some monitored the ship's systems, while others analyzed data from nearby star systems. It was a peaceful shift, just like countless others before it. Suddenly, an alarm blared through the bridge. Red lights flashed, startling everyone from their routine. "Captain," shouted Ensign Da-hyun from the sensor station. "Unknown object detected at the edge of our scanning range." Jae-sung sprang into action. On screen, maximum magnification. The view screen flickered, then showed a distant point of light. As they watched, it grew larger, moving at an incredible speed. "What is it?" Jae-sung asked, his voice tense. Min Seo frowned at her console. It's a ship, sir, but like nothing we've ever seen before." The object grew clearer on the screen. It was indeed a ship, but its design was alien to them. It was sleek and powerful looking, with strange markings along its hull. "Size comparison," Jae-sung requested. Da-hyun's eyes widened as he read the data. "Sir, it's nearly twice the size of the star Voyager." A murmur of disbelief ran through the bridge crew. The star Voyager was one of the largest ships in the Galactic Confederation. To encounter a vessel that dwarfed it was unheard of. "Weapons status?" Jae-sung asked, his hand hovering over the ship-wide alert button. "Unknown, sir," Min Seo replied. "Our sensors can't penetrate their hull. But, Captain, the energy readings are off the charts. Whatever that ship is, it's incredibly powerful." Jae-sung took a deep breath. This was first contact, and he knew the next few moments could shape the future of the entire galaxy. "Open a channel," he ordered. "All frequencies, all languages in our database." The communications officer, Lieutenant Jae-ho, nodded and began the transmission. "Channel open, sir." Jae-sung straightened his uniform and spoke clearly. "Unknown vessel, this is Captain Jae-sung of the Galactic Confederation flagship Star Voyager. We come in peace and wish to establish communication. Please respond." Seconds ticked by, then minutes. The bridge was silent, every crew member holding their breath. "No response, sir," Jae-ho finally reported. Jae-sung frowned. "Keep trying. Maybe they don't understand our languages." As they waited, the mysterious ship drew closer. Its size became even more apparent, filling the view screen with its imposing presence. "Sir," Min Seo said, her voice tight with worry. "At their current speed, they'll reach us in less than 5 minutes." Jae-sung nodded, his mind racing through options. "Raise shields. Power up weapons systems, but do not target. I want to be ready, but we can't appear hostile." The crew rushed to comply, the tension on the bridge rising with each passing moment. 3 minutes to intercept, Da-hyun announced. Jae-sung tried once more. "Unknown vessel, please respond. We mean you no harm. We only wish to talk." Still, there was no answer. 1 minute, sir," Min Seo reported. Jae-sung gripped the arms of his chair. "All hands, brace for possible impact or hostile action." The massive ship loomed ever closer. The crew of the Star Voyager watched in awe and fear as it approached. Suddenly, the unknown vessel slowed, coming to a stop right in front of them. It hung there in space, silent and mysterious. "Sir," Jae-ho called out, excitement in his voice, "we're receiving a transmission." On screen, Jae-sung ordered, standing up. The view screen changed, showing the interior of the other ship. A figure stood there, looking remarkably similar to the humanoid species of the Galactic Confederation, yet subtly different. The figure spoke, its words automatically translated by the ship's computers. "Greetings, Star Voyager. I am Commander Suin of the Terran Warship Fury. We come from a planet called Earth." Gasps echoed across the bridge. Earth was a myth, a legend whispered about in the far corners of the galaxy, a planet of warriors and innovators, isolated for centuries, advancing in secret. Jae-sung steadied himself and responded, "Welcome, Commander Suin. We are honored to meet you. Though I must admit, your arrival has caused quite a stir." Suin nodded, a small smile on their face. "We expected as much, Captain Jae-sung. I believe you, and I have much to discuss. The galaxy as you know it is about to change." As the weight of those words settled over the bridge, Jae-sung realized that this routine patrol had just become the most important mission of his life. The Galactic Confederation would indeed never be the same again. Captain Jae-sung of the Star Voyager and Commander Suin of the Terran Fury faced each other on the view screen. The tension on the bridge was thick enough to cut with a knife. "Commander Suin," Jae-sung began, "we have many questions. Your ship, Earth, they're all just legends to us." Suin nodded, a slight smile on their face. "We understand your confusion, Captain. Earth has been hidden for a long time. But now we're ready to join the galactic community." As they talked, Min Seo whispered to Jae-sung, "Sir, I'm picking up strange energy readings from their ship. It's like nothing we've ever seen before." Jae-sung frowned but kept his focus on Suin. "Commander, we welcome peaceful contact. But I must ask about your ship's capabilities. It's quite impressive." Suin's smile faded a bit. "I'm afraid that information is classified, Captain. We mean no disrespect, but we must protect our technological advancements." Suddenly, alarms blared on both ships. "Captain," Daehyun shouted, "3 Zarkanian warships just dropped out of hyperspace." Jae-sung's eyes widened. The Zarkanians were known troublemakers in this sector. This was bad timing. On the view screen, they saw Suin barking orders to their crew. The connection cut off abruptly. "Sir, the Zarkanians are hailing us," Jaiho reported. On screen, Jae-sung ordered. A reptilian face appeared. Well, Captain Jae-sung. Caught with an unknown ship in our territory. That's against the treaty." Jae-sung stood tall. "Admiral Kex, this sector is neutral space. We're simply making first contact with a new species." Kex laughed, a harsh sound. "New species? That ship looks too advanced. Hand it over for inspection, or we'll take it by force." Before Jae-sung could respond, the view screen split. Suin appeared alongside Kex. "This is Commander Suin of Earth. We have no quarrel with you, but we will defend ourselves if attacked." Kex snarled. "Earth? The myth? Lies. Jae-sung, stand aside. We're taking that ship." The Zarkanian ships moved forward, weapons charging. "Red alert," Jae-sung shouted. "Shields up." What happened next stunned everyone. The Terran Fury moved with impossible speed. Beams of light shot from its hull, striking the Zarkanian ships. But instead of explosions, the enemy vessels simply stopped. "What just happened?" Jae-sung asked, bewildered. Min Seo checked her readings. "Sir, the Zarkanian ships are completely powered down. They're dead in space." Sumin's face reappeared on the view screen. "Captain Jae-sung, I apologize for this display. We used an electromagnetic pulse to disable their ships temporarily. No one is harmed." Jae-sung struggled to find words. "Commander, that technology. It's beyond anything we've seen." "I understand this is shocking," Suin said. "But please, let's talk. We can explain." Suddenly, Min Seo shouted, "Captain, the Zarkanian ships are powering up again." Before anyone could react, the Zarkanians opened fire. Their shots bounced harmlessly off the Terran Fury's hull. Sumin's expression hardened. "I see diplomacy has failed. Captain Jae-sung, please stand back. We'll handle this." The Terran Fury moved again, this time unleashing a barrage of energy weapons. The Zarkanian ship's shields collapsed in seconds. "Impossible," Jae-sung whispered. With surgical precision, the Terran Fury disabled the Zarkanian vessels, leaving them floating helplessly in space. Suin reappeared on screen. "Captain, we..." But Jae-sung had made a decision. This level of technology was too dangerous, too unknown. "All power to engines," he ordered. "We're leaving." The Star Voyager turned and jumped to hyperspace, leaving the disabled Zarkanian ships and the mysterious Terran Fury behind. As the stars streaked by, Jae-sung's mind raced. He had to report this to Galactic Confederation headquarters immediately. The arrival of Earth would change everything. "Sir," Min Seo said softly, "what do we do now?" Jae-sung took a deep breath. "Now, we prepare. The galaxy as we know it will never be the same, and we need to be ready for whatever comes next." As the Star Voyager raced through hyperspace, the crew couldn't shake the image of the Terran Fury's power. They had just witnessed the dawn of a new era, and the future was both exciting and terrifying. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of humanity's introduction to the galactic stage. The news of the encounter with the Terran Fury spread like wildfire through the Galactic Confederation. Within hours of the Star Voyager's return, an emergency meeting of the High Council was called. High Counselor Yunji stood at the head of the Grand Meeting Hall. Her eyes scanned the room, taking in the worried faces of the council members. Representatives from 100 different species sat in tiered seats, their chatter filling the air with a mix of excitement and fear. Yunji raised her hand, and the room fell silent. "Esteemed colleagues," she began, her voice calm but firm, "we face an unprecedented situation. Captain Jae-sung of the Star Voyager will now present his report." All eyes turned to Jae-sung as he walked to the center of the room. He took a deep breath and began to speak. "High Council, what I'm about to tell you may sound unbelievable, but I assure you, every word is true." He paused, looking around the room. "We have made contact with a ship from Earth." A gasp rippled through the council. Earth was a legend, a myth told to children. Could it really exist? Jae-sung continued, describing the Terran Fury's size and power. He told them about the brief conversation with Commander Suin and the sudden appearance of the Zarkanian ships. When he reached the part about the Terran Fury's advanced weapons, the council erupted in disbelief. "Impossible," shouted one member. "No ship could disable 3 Zarkanian warships so easily." "Are we sure this Earth isn't a trick by the Zarkanians?" another asked. Yunji called for order, her voice cutting through the chaos. "Let Captain Jae-sung finish his report." Jae-sung nodded gratefully and concluded his story, describing how they fled the scene. As he finished, the room fell into an uneasy silence. The implications of his report were staggering. Yunji spoke first. "Thank you, Captain. Now we must decide how to respond to this. Earth." The debate that followed was heated. Some council members wanted to welcome Earth with open arms, excited by the prospect of new technology. Others feared the power of the Terran Fury and suggested a military response. "We can't ignore a ship that powerful," argued Councillor Ta-won, his tentacles waving in agitation. "What if they decide to conquer us?" "But think of what we could learn from them," countered Councillor Yumha, her antenna twitching excitedly. "Their technology could solve many of our problems." As the debate raged on, Yunji noticed Jae-sung standing quietly to the side. "Captain," she called out, "you've met these humans. What is your opinion?" All eyes turned to Jae-sung. He thought carefully before speaking. "High Counselor, members of the Council, I believe we should approach with caution but not hostility. The humans could have destroyed the Zarkanian ships, but they chose to disable them instead. That suggests they're not bent on conquest." His words seemed to calm the room somewhat. Yunji nodded thoughtfully. "A wise observation, Captain. Perhaps we should." Suddenly, the council chamber's emergency alarm blared. A holographic display appeared in the center of the room, showing a massive ship approaching the Galactic Confederation's capital planet. "It's them," Jae-sung whispered. "The Terran Fury." Panic erupted in the council chamber. Some members called for immediate evacuation, while others demanded they ready their defenses. Yeonji's voice cut through the chaos once again. "Silence," she commanded. When order was restored, she continued, "We cannot let fear guide our actions. This is a crucial moment for our civilization. We must face it with courage and wisdom." She turned to Jae-sung. "Captain, you've had the most experience with the humans. I'm appointing you as our chief diplomat for this encounter." Jae-sung's eyes widened in surprise, but he nodded solemnly. "I accept, High Counselor. What are your orders?" Yeonji's gaze swept across the council chamber before returning to Jae-sung. "Make contact with the Terran Fury. Invite them to send a representative to address the council. It's time we met these humans face to face." As Jae-sung hurried out to carry out his new mission, the council members looked at each other with a mix of fear and anticipation. The next few hours would shape the future of the entire galaxy. The age of humanity had arrived, ready or not. Aboard the Terran Fury, Commander Suin stood at the large viewing window, watching the Galactic Confederation's capital planet grow larger. Her face was calm, but her mind was racing with thoughts of the mission ahead. "Commander," a voice called from behind her. "We're receiving a transmission from the planet." Suin turned to face her communications officer, Jin-ho. "Put it through," she ordered. The holographic image of Captain Jae-sung appeared before them. "Terran Fury, this is Captain Jae-sung of the Galactic Confederation. On behalf of the High Council, I invite you to send a representative to address our leaders." Suin nodded. "Thank you, Captain. I will come myself. Please send docking instructions." As the transmission ended, Suin turned to her second-in-command, Hae-won. "Prepare a shuttle. I'll go alone." Hae-won's eyes widened. "Alone? But Commander, is that safe?" Suin smiled slightly. "We need to show trust if we want to build a relationship. Besides," she added, tapping the small device on her wrist, "I'm never really alone." As Suin prepared for her mission, her mind drifted back to the events that led to this moment. 6 months earlier, on Earth, the United Earth Council chamber was buzzing with excitement. After centuries of isolation, they were about to vote on whether to rejoin the galactic community. Suin, then an advisor to the council, stood before the gathered leaders. "For too long, we've hidden in the shadows," she said. "We left the galaxy because we were afraid. Afraid of war, afraid of losing our humanity. But in our isolation, we've grown strong. Our technology has advanced beyond our wildest dreams. It's time we use that strength to help shape a better galaxy." The debate that followed was intense. Some council members argued that Earth was safer in isolation. Others worried about how the galaxy had changed in their absence. In the end, the vote was close, but the decision was made. Earth would venture out into the stars once more. Suin was chosen to lead the mission. As she stepped out of the council chamber, her old mentor, Jae-hun, approached her. "Congratulations," he said, his eyes twinkling. "But remember, with great power comes great responsibility." Suin nodded solemnly. "I understand. We're not going out there to conquer. We're going to help to learn and to grow." Jae-hun smiled. "That's my girl. Now let me show you the ship we've prepared for your journey." The next few months were a whirlwind of preparation. The Terran Fury, Earth's most advanced ship, was made ready. A crew of Earth's finest was assembled and trained. On the day of launch, Suin stood before her crew. "Today we carry the hopes and dreams of Earth with us," she said. "We go not as conquerors, but as explorers and peacekeepers. Let's show the galaxy what humanity has become." With a cheer from the crowd, the Terran Fury lifted off, leaving Earth behind and heading into the unknown. Back in the present, Suin shook herself out of her memories. The shuttle was ready. As she boarded, Hae-won handed her a small device. It's loaded with all of Earth's history and cultural information, he explained, just in case they have questions. Suin took the device, nodding her thanks. As the shuttle doors closed, she took a deep breath. This was it, the moment that would shape the future of both humanity and the galaxy. The shuttle detached from the Terran Fury and began its descent towards the planet. Through the viewport, Suin could see the sprawling cities and the grand buildings of the Galactic Confederation's capital. Well, she muttered to herself, a small smile playing on her lips, let's go make some new friends. As the shuttle entered the planet's atmosphere, Suin straightened her uniform. Whatever happened next, one thing was certain. The galaxy would never be the same again. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Confederation was silent as Commander Suin of Earth walked in. All eyes were on her, a mix of curiosity, fear, and awe on the faces of the alien representatives. High Counselor Yunji stepped forward. Welcome, Commander Suin of Earth. We are honored by your presence. Suin bowed slightly. The honor is mine, High Counselor. Earth is eager to rejoin the galactic community. A murmur ran through the crowd. Rejoin. This was news to them. Yunji raised her hand for silence. Perhaps you could explain, Commander. Our records show no previous contact with Earth. Suin nodded. It's a long story, but I'll try to be brief. Thousands of years ago, Earth was part of the galactic community. But a great war broke out, and Earth chose to hide itself, fearing for its survival. The council members listened, fascinated, as Suin explained Earth's history. She told them about the decision to isolate, the rapid technological advancements, and the recent choice to return to the stars. As she finished, the room erupted in questions. Some were curious about Earth's technology, others worried about its intentions. Counselor Tawan's voice rose above the others. And we're supposed to just trust you. Your ship could destroy our entire fleet. Suin turned to him, her face calm. We come in peace, Counselor. Our technology is advanced, yes, but we want to use it to help, not harm. Pretty words, Tawan scoffed. But actions speak louder. Your ship attacked Zarkanian vessels. We defended ourselves, Suin countered. And we only disabled their ships, harming no one. The debate grew heated. More council members joined Tawan's side, their fears overriding their curiosity. Yunji tried to calm the situation. Perhaps we could discuss a treaty, a way to ensure peace between us. Suin nodded eagerly. Yes, Earth would be happy to. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the building. A holographic display appeared, showing multiple ships dropping out of hyperspace near the planet. Zarkanian ships, someone shouted. A whole fleet of them. Panic spread through the council. Yunji turned to Suin, her eyes narrow. Did you lead them here? Suin looked shocked. No, we had nothing to do with this. But many council members weren't listening. They saw only a threat. The powerful human ship and now a Zarkanian fleet. We should detain the human. Tawan yelled. For our own safety. Guards moved towards Suin. She stepped back, her hand moving to the device on her wrist. Please, she said, her voice steady despite the chaos. This is a misunderstanding. Let me help. The Terran Fury can protect your planet. But fear had taken over. More guards approached, weapons drawn. In that moment, Suin made a decision. She pressed her wrist device. In a flash of light, she vanished, teleported back to her shuttle. The council room exploded into chaos. She's escaped. It's an attack. Prepare our defenses. Outside, the Zarkanian fleet moved closer. On the Terran Fury, Suin's crew watched in alarm as their commander's shuttle raced back to them, pursued by Confederation fighters. Shields up, Ha1 ordered. But do not fire. We don't want to hurt anyone. As Suin's shuttle docked, the ship shuddered under fire from the Confederation's planetary defenses. Suin rushed onto the bridge. We need to leave now, but stay in the system. We can't abandon these people to the Zarkanians. The Terran Fury moved with incredible speed, easily avoiding the Confederation's attacks. It took up position between the planet and the approaching Zarkanian fleet. On the planet, the Galactic Confederation Council watched in a mix of fear and confusion. Was Earth their enemy or their protector? As the Zarkanian fleet drew near, tensions reached a boiling point. The next few moments would determine the fate of Earth's return to the galactic stage, and perhaps the fate of the galaxy itself. The space around the Galactic Confederation's capital planet was tense. On one side, the massive Terran Fury stood alone. On the other, the Zarkanian fleet loomed menacingly. Caught in the middle was the Confederation's own defense fleet, unsure which side posed the greater threat. Inside the Terran Fury, Commander Suin's mind raced. She had to find a way to defuse this situation before it exploded into all-out war. HFY, she called to her second-in-command, open a channel to the Zarkanian fleet and the Confederation. Let's try to talk this out. But before they could act, the Zarkanian ships opened fire. Their energy beams streaked towards the planet's defenses. Without hesitation, the Terran Fury moved. It intercepted the attacks, its advanced shields easily absorbing the blasts. On the planet's surface, the Galactic Council watched in awe. "They're protecting us," Counselor Tawan said in disbelief. High Counselor Yunji nodded slowly. "Perhaps we judged them too quickly." Back in space, Suin's voice rang out across all channels. "This is Commander Suin of Earth. We ask all sides to cease fire immediately. Let us talk and find a peaceful solution." For a moment, everything was still. Then, a gruff voice responded. The Zarkanian fleet commander. "Talk." "Ha. We're here to conquer, not chat." The Zarkanians fired again, this time targeting the Terran Fury directly. Their most powerful weapons hit the Earth ship head-on. When the flash faded, the Terran Fury still floated, completely unharmed. Gasps of shock echoed through the Confederation's command center. Even the Zarkanians seemed stunned. Suin's voice came again, calm but firm. "We don't want to fight, but we will not allow you to harm innocent people. Stand down, or we will be forced to disable your ships." The Zarkanian commander laughed. "You and what army, human?" In response, the Terran Fury began to glow. Strange energy patterns danced across its hull. Suddenly, every system on the Zarkanian ships shut down. Their weapons, engines, even life support, all went dark. In the Confederation's command center, alarms blared. "What's happening?" Yunji demanded. A technician looked up, eyes wide. It's incredible. The human ship just released some kind of energy wave. It completely shut down the Zarkanian fleet without harming a single life." As the Confederation fleet watched in amazement, Suin's voice came once more. "Galactic Confederation. The threat has been neutralized. The Zarkanian ships are disabled, but their crews are unharmed. We stand ready to assist in any way you need." There was a long silence. Then, a new voice joined the channel. It was Yuna, the young diplomat who had argued for peace earlier. "Commander Suin," she said, her voice shaky but determined. "On behalf of the Galactic Confederation, I thank you for your help. We may have misjudged you. Would you be willing to return and speak with us again?" Suin smiled. This was the chance she had hoped for. "Of course," she replied. "We would be honored." As the Terran Fury moved back towards the planet, escorted this time by an honor guard of Confederation ships, Suin turned to her crew. "Well done, everyone," she said. "We came here to make friends, not war. It seems we're finally on the right track." HFY nodded, a relieved smile on his face. "It was close, Commander. For a moment there, I thought we'd have to fight." Suin shook her head. "That's not why we're here, HFY. Earth has seen enough war. We're here to build bridges, not burn them." As they approached the planet, Suin could see the grand buildings of the Galactic Confederation's capital. She took a deep breath, ready to face whatever came next. The battle that never was had ended. Now, The real work of building trust and understanding could begin. 1 month had passed since the dramatic events that introduced Earth to the Galactic Confederation. The Grand Council chamber, once filled with fear and suspicion, now buzzed with excitement and hope. Commander Suin stood before the assembled representatives, her posture relaxed but dignified. Beside her, High Counselor Yunji smiled warmly. "Members of the Galactic Confederation," Yunji began, her voice carrying across the room. "Today marks a historic moment. We welcome Earth not just as a new member, but as a partner in shaping our future." A round of applause filled the chamber. Even Counselor Tadwan, once so suspicious, nodded in approval. Suin stepped forward. "Thank you, High Counselor. Earth is honored to rejoin the galactic community. We come not to rule, but to help and learn." Over the past month, Earth had proven its words with actions. The Terran Fury had become a symbol of peace, helping to resolve conflicts and provide aid across the galaxy. With Earth's help, Yunji continued, "We've made incredible progress. Suin, would you like to share some of our achievements?" Suin nodded and activated a holographic display. Images flickered to life, showing various scenes from across the galaxy. "Using our terraforming technology," Suin explained, "we've started to restore planets once thought uninhabitable." The display showed a barren world transforming, blue oceans forming and green vegetation spreading. "Our medical advances have cured diseases that have plagued many worlds for centuries." The next image showed patients of various species, all smiling and healthy. "And our clean energy systems have brought power to communities that had lived in darkness." The final image displayed a city gleaming with lights, powered by a small glowing device. The council members watched in awe. What once seemed like impossible feats were now reality. But it wasn't just Earth contributing. Suin smiled as she continued, "In turn, we've learned so much from you. Your diverse cultures, your unique perspectives on the universe, they've enriched us in ways we never imagined." She turned to a group of alien scientists. "Your advancements in faster-than-light travel have revolutionized our own systems. Together, we're exploring further than ever before." The mood in the chamber was jubilant. The fear of the unknown had been replaced by excitement for the future. Yunji raised her hands for quiet. "There's one more announcement," she said. "In light of recent events, the Council has voted to create a new position, Ambassador of Intergalactic Relations." She turned to Suin. "Commander, we would be honored if you would accept this role." Sumin's eyes widened in surprise. She looked around the room, seeing encouraging nods from many council members. Even her own crew, watching from the sidelines, grinned and gave thumbs up. After a moment, Suin bowed deeply. "The honor would be mine, High Counselor." The chamber erupted in cheers. As the applause died down, Suin addressed the council once more. "I accept this position with humility and hope," she said. "There will be challenges ahead. Old fears don't disappear overnight. But I believe that together, there's nothing we can't overcome." She looked around the room, meeting the eyes of representatives from 100 different worlds. "Earth's history taught us a valuable lesson," Suin continued. "Isolation leads to stagnation. It's only by coming together, by sharing our knowledge and cultures, that we truly grow." As she finished speaking, Yunji stepped forward again. "Let this day be remembered," she declared, "not as the day Earth joined us, but as the day we all took a step forward together." The council chamber filled with applause once more. Representatives from different species, once divided by fear and mistrust, now stood side by side, united in their hope for the future. Outside, the Terran Fury floated peacefully alongside ships from 100 different worlds. It was no longer seen as a threat, but as a symbol of the bright future that lay ahead. As the celebrations continued, Suin smiled to herself. The journey hadn't been easy, but they had done it. Earth had returned to the stars, not as conquerors, but as friends. A new era of galactic cooperation had begun, and the possibilities were as endless as the stars themselves.